DRG should have been the counterer, not the countered.
Yeah.
So definitely a bit of a mistake there. But you know what? Our third map going to be King Sejong Station. And it's a good map for mutas. I think that DRG, he's going to like this map. And we'll see. We'll be on go for mech play again. We did see Flash do it here.
It's entirely possible. We're going to take a short break, folks. You'll hear a word from our sponsors, and when we come back, it will be the final map of the evening. Who advances to play Flash? CJ Byung or MVP Dongray Gu? We'll find out after the break. Hi, my name's John Bain, and it's my pleasure to thank Sandisk for bringing us top-notch StarCraft 2 entertainment at the Sandisk SHOUTcraft Invitational. When I'm not casting StarCraft 2, it's my job to critique PC games, and to do that, I need the best hardware. One of the best upgrades that you can get for your PC gaming experience is a solid-state drive, so I'd like to encourage you to check out the Sandisk Extreme Pro SSD. It's engineered for super-fast read and write speeds and consistent high performance 24/7. What does that mean for your games? Faster load times, faster boot times, faster install times. Less downtime, more game time. Plus, they're easy to install, run cool, and are both virtually silent and energy efficient. If you're worried about reliability, no need. Sandisk backs it all up with a 10-year warranty. Game without limits when you step up to the consistent high performance of Sandisk Extreme Pro. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is all or nothing here for our two remaining players in Group B. Byung or Dongray Gu will go forward to fight against the mighty Flash in a best of 7 in the round of 4. That's only the round of 4. There's more to come after that.
Oh man, it's going to be awesome. There's even a third place match. It's a fantastic tournament, and it's going to be crazy with best of 7s coming up after this.
Oh,
The next
yeah.
2 days are even going to be better than yesterday. And yesterday was like amazing.
Yeah, I always feel like with the group format, it's more of a case of being practical and kind of giving all the players a fair shot than it is necessarily about really great series. Because a best of 3, it can be good, but it can also be very short. It can be over very quickly, it can be fairly disappointing. Best of 7s generally never are in any way. You know, there's always a good shot for best of 7s to be amazing. Most do not end in 4-0 sweeps. They're very back and forth, and we get to see a full range of play.
Yeah, it's a best of 7 really shows you the best players, man. In fact, so much so that they sometimes, like, if you're not just a diehard StarCraft fan, sometimes they don't seem as close or as good as like a best of 5, because a best of 5 can, like, you know, a 3-1 sounds very close, whereas a 4-2 not so much. But I tell you, the best of 7, that's where it's at for me. Like, you get to really see these guys' skills, and if you really pay attention to what's going on, a 4-2 can be one of the closest series you ever saw.
Yes, it can. I'm a full believer in the best of 7 format. Certainly difficult to get players of this caliber to play. In fact, every single last one of them is going to be playing 2 at a bare minimum. Because, of course, the bronze match exists. So, I mean, we're going to get to see Flash play 2 best of 7s when the last best of 7 he played was over a year ago at MLG. And we're going to get to see 2 of them.
Pretty sick. And, you know, maybe one of them is the championship match, and maybe he wins. Maybe he goes 7-0 and 7-0, and you're like, Flash, you can stop at 4. He's like, no, I'm going to go 7-0.
It's like, this was my time to prove that, yes, I am the real deal in StarCraft 2. In real series, I don't need to play 1 map. I can play 7, and I'm going to play 7, damn it. It's just the corpse of his opponent just lying on the floor. He just keeps beating it with a stick. It's like, it's over, Flash. People have to drag him away, bloodlust in his eyes.
Well, that's Flash for you, man. You're getting my heart beating right now thinking about Flash in his Brood War days.
The ultimate weapon, indeed. Doesn't mess around. The question is, who does he get to face? Is it going to be DRG? Is it going to be CJ Byung in a TBT? Which would be a treat, by the way. I would absolutely love to see that. But I think a lot of people are maybe rooting for DRG here, and I wouldn't blame them. He's a fan favorite. Plus, it means a Zerg does get through the round of 4, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah, that would be nice, having all 4 races, or all 3 races, rather, in the round of 4.
And he's got Balloon in here, so we can have all
really
4 races.
Yeah, there you go, the only random player left.
Hey, he beat Bomber today. I could not believe it. That blew my mind.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it because it's on in the middle of Korean night, but I'll be checking those VODs out later for sure.
Absolutely. Balloon is such a fantastic guy. I absolutely love him. His stream is maybe one of the best to watch. Probably the most entertaining out at the moment right now. In a world of Smurfs and angry mech players, Balloon is a breath of fresh air.
There you go. I like the way that you say that.
I am nothing if not a master of PR. Ladies and gentlemen, to the southeast position, the final map of the tournament, at least for Group B. In the Orange Trunks playing Terran on King Sejong Station, here's CJ Entus Byung.
And in the top left of our map, the final boss. Can he win this and go into that round of 4? It is MVP's Dong Grey Goo.
The most delicious and deadly pasta sauce the world has ever known is Dong Grey Goo. And he has opened up here with a pool. Nothing too crazy, but pool followed by the hatchery.
It's pretty safe, you know? Like, normally you do see hatch first against Terran, but DRG, you know, he's choosing a bit of discretion here and trying to keep safe. I think he's probably pretty confident in himself going into a later game, so willing to maybe take the bad end of a build order to open.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Byung he's certainly not going CC first, but he is going for a gasless expand, so it's a little quicker. There will not be a Reaper Scout, which is probably for the best for Byung, because there would be links to meet it very quickly. But it doesn't make that much of a difference. It's certainly not a build order loss for either side. But maybe that gives a slight edge to Byung going into this.
Yeah, I would have to say so. But we'll see where he goes from here and what DRG has planned, because DRG is getting gas now, probably just going to be for speed. And I would imagine that Byung is going to do a build somewhat similar to the last game. You know, mech is somewhat popular on this map, at least. And, you know, Byung's mech pushes, I feel, are maybe in some ways harder to stop than some other, like, slower mech pushes, even though those look invincible, because not many people play mech like Byung does.
No.
So it's hard to get as much practice against his kind of aggressive mech style.
Byung's mech push was the most mobile, least mobile mech push I've ever seen. Like, you take the two slowest units in the game, at least on the ground there for the Terran, and you throw them in a composition together and you push forward with it. And yeah, while you don't have siege tanks, you can keep moving. You can always keep moving. But then it was the reload behind that caught me off guard. Being able to use all 5 of his factories to suddenly switch out his production, forcing the Zerg to build a composition against for Hellbat, and then having to deal with siege tanks.
You know, it really does go back to Byung's style that we've been talking about a lot today, which is a strategic play. That's a very intelligent way to play it. If you force them into roaches, and then suddenly you have a bunch of siege tanks, well, they're in trouble, aren't they? And yeah, they are. And we saw that last game very clearly demonstrated by Byung.
And in particular, I think against a player like Dongray Gu, as was said before, is so damn stubborn when it comes to his lair tech. It's almost infuriating at times. Like, DRG, get a hive, something. But, you know, his upgrades stop on 2-2. You know, he wins on lair so often. And that can also be his Achilles heel as well. That worries me a little bit.
Yeah, 2-2 is DRG's 3-3.
Yeah,
you know, it's... Mutas are his Vipers, I guess, or something like that. He really does prefer those mid-game compositions, but the amount he's made it work, the amount he's made it his own style, I almost welcome it. When all the other Zergs are going up to Hive and using the units that maybe you don't like quite as much, he's staying to his old ways and still making it work a good portion of the time.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that does mean that sometimes he isn't able to make that work, and against a very scary mech composition, it's a bit difficult. Now, Byung is going for, again, the Armory for the 3rd time in this game, and it looks like he will go for another attempt at this Banshee Hellbat push, but this time around, DRG actually has a Roach Warren.
This is going to do a lot better, I would say, and the thing is, you got to remember, DRG defended it basically perfectly last time. Didn't really lose much at all. What did he lose? Like a queen and some lings and 1 drone?
Yeah, and he did that with lings and baneling. And now he's already got 8 roaches out, and he's going to have 12 plus 4 queens plus potential ling baneling behind that.
Yeah, I think he's going to hold it even easier this time. And in fact, these are going to be met by the roaches as they go up the ramp, and they have to back up, losing 1 already.
Yeah, and that's 1 less Hellbat, and that makes a big difference. Every little bit helps in this. DRG even sees the Banshee coming in, so he's going to be able to position his queens and be prepared for that. Admittedly, he does not have the ability to detect Cloak, but Cloak is actually not done yet. It's a good map for these Banshees, I got to admit. You know, you get to go in behind there and do quite a bit. But the Spore Crawler is on its way, and eventually that Banshee will go down. But it's going to take a few drones before that happens. The Lings and Roaches pulling back, realizing they can't really get a huge amount done.
And the Hellion's actually running into the main base. Yeah, look at this. Oh, the drone's starting to line up a little bit.
Oh, devastating attack here for Byung. I'm so surprised DRG even let it in the first place. 20 workers killed up to this point. Byung with a deadly start to this game.
An insane volley there. I can't believe he killed 20 workers that quickly. Of course, some of them went to the Banshee, but man, did those drones line up. DRG has to be sad as can be about that. Down to 42 workers at the moment, but he will refill it pretty quickly with his 3 hatches.
Yeah, he does have a fairly decent standing army as well, whereas Byung doesn't. The problem is Byung's got Banshees, and Roaches are not known for their ability to shoot up, so pushing across the map for DRG isn't really an option. This is actually really scary now, because we're seeing that mech transition that we saw in the last game, but this time around, in a strange twist of events, Byung delivers far more damage in the early game than he was able to in the previous.
Well, maybe this time, DRG stays off the mutas, and maybe it becomes a more even game, because yeah, he took that damage early on, but looks like he's staying on roaches for now, getting that roach speed, And that should be able to hold off Hellbat Thor a little bit better than, you know, going right into mutas and getting them torn apart.
Yeah, he was very stubborn with those Mutalisks, and unfortunately it didn't really get him too far. The Roaches can knock on the back door here because there actually aren't any siege tanks. There's a potential run-by that could happen here, especially with the Hellions out of position. So this could work out, and hopefully Byung is paying attention. And currently, he hasn't actually responded to it as of yet. Hellion run-by is coming to the third base, though, and there's no defense. This could be even nastier situation. I hope DRG splits better.
Well, some of the drones do come off and bravely try to fight. He turns them into Hellbats. The rest of the Hellions go ahead and chase down the drones. Lots of drones actually dying here. Very painful once again for DRG.
Certainly. He's going to get the cleanup, but not without cost. However, Dongre-gu gets into the natural mineral line here. He knocks down the door, and he forces all those SCVs off the line. He kills 6, but he's got a lot of catching up to do in terms of worker harass.
Oh man, those depots did not go up quite quick enough. And you're right, he has to kill a lot of SCVs here because 41 drones have been killed. Oh man, but the Banshee's making quick work with these Thors and SCVs.
Yep, he gets a few. I mean, he's killed 16. That's not too shabby. He's also brought Lings out onto the map, and that third base is completely under threat. The mules are going to go down almost instantly. A lift is forced here. All the mules killed, and they were full mules as well, so that's a big deal. DRG starting to get back into this game here. He says, oh, aggression? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Well, that was really well done. Looks like DRG, he wants to stay on this layer. Ground tech, he's adding a Hydralisk Den. He's getting his ranged attack and his Carapace. Of course, he's getting the Infestation Pit as well, so he could be going into Stormhost. But for sure, I think we'll see some more Roaches and Hydras also.
Yeah, I love the fact that he's varying things up here and giving himself more options, you know. If he needs to switch techs, he at least needs the buildings to be able to do it, which he stubbornly refused to build last time. Again, another Hellion run by here. Man, if these were Blue Flame, these would actually be doing a lot more than they currently are. This will eventually get cleaned up, but not without damage done. Thankfully, his drone count's kind of high enough to at least endure a bit of this, but these Hellions are doing more than they deserve to.
You know, how many drones is he going to lose this game? 54 so far. Yeah. This is getting pretty astronomical in costs, but, you know, luckily, as you said, he does have a lot of drones. He can replace this, but that's not what he wants to spend his money on. That's not what he wants to spending his larva on. He needs to be making an army, because Byung is going to be coming for him pretty soon, and it's going to be scary.
Depot wall off, man, if he got in there 5 seconds earlier, but there's a few more Hellbats around, it may have even been a risk, and Blue Flame's about to finish too, so... Unless he wants to try and bust that, which seems suicidal, I don't think he's going to get much done. He can camp around and make sure a 4th base doesn't go up. I would actually like to see him attempt to run bys onto the 3rd. That's actually still quite exposed and open there.
Yeah, there's only like a handful of units there, and yeah, they're kind of scary units, but you could definitely get in and do a bit of damage.
Yep. Oh, wow, that actually was an incomplete wall, but it doesn't matter because there's a Thor there. It's just going to murder everything anyway, so never mind. There's definitely a possibility that could have worked, but... he took too many volleys as he went in from the siege tank. But yeah, there's actually a hole in that wall. Hopefully Byung actually fixes that, as that could be a vulnerability later on. Yeah,
he definitely should throw up another depot there. Flash would have all depots there.
He would.
For sure.
Yep. He'd have spare depots. He'd just have them all just lining up, ready to serve.
Well, we have, right now... DRG
finished.
Still is, yeah, I mean, he's getting a good tech route, and he's continuing his upgrades, and he's patrolling his creep reasonably well. Byung trying to get a little bit of harassment done, but DRG not sending his drones out to that 4th too quickly.
Roach Hydra Viper composition is the choice here for Dongre-gu, a very different game that we're seeing from him indeed compared to his previous, but Byung's supply count is starting to get a little bit out of hand. Dongre-gu needs to win a decisive fight here, I feel, and shutting down this harass is good. But he needs to do a lot more.
Actually, some more drones actually dying in the main base of Blue Flame Hellions right now. Drone death count, 73.
73. That's about to be 77. There it is. I don't know where those drones were going. That makes no sense. They shouldn't have even been there. Oh, he's losing. Whoa, 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 whoa. DRG falling to pieces here. He's now 85. His roaches were just wandering off in the wrong direction, and he responded so slowly. This is not good. DRG is starting to fall to pieces.
I think Byung is going to be joining the 100 Drone Club on this game.
Yeah.
Doing a great job with this harassment, all the while building up a nearly invincible force. Look at all these siege tanks, the Thors. Even already has Ravens out, just building mass command centers. He is really making it hard for DRG to make any sort of comeback.
Yeah, he is. And it is nice that DRG has the tech options this time around. He's working on upgrades. He's not kind of there yet. He's going to have 2-2, and of course he does have the Roach Hydra Viper Force. Byung losing a bunch of Hellions unnecessarily there, I feel. Great engagement from Dongregoo, and he pulls back. So, Blinding Clouds can still kind of make this happen, especially considering this is actually a very tank-heavy force that Byung's gone with this time.
Quite a good point, actually, now that you say that. That might be the key to victory here. If he can throw down some good Blinding Clouds, it's amazing what Roach Hydra can do against tanks with Blinding Cloud on top. Considering the tanks with Blinding Cloud on top are about as effective as a Changeling.
Indeed. And Hellbat's what? How does he keep getting in? 96 drones killed, 97 now. He's just going for it. Dongregoo wants to fight right now. The Blinding Clouds are actually very, very good. They stop all those tanks from fighting. He's trying to engage against this as best he can, but it's a planetary. He's trying to deal with this. The Cloak Banshees are going to town. And can DRG... Oh, he doesn't break it!
Just barely not able to take out that planetary. In the meantime, he's lost so many drones. It's crazy. 98 drones killed. He's lost his army. He's down in supply. Brutal. What do you do here as DRG? He's going to have to hit another very strong Blinding Cloud attack.
Yeah, I feel actually you should have thrown a Blinding Cloud in that planetary, in fact. That did so much that I can't actually see how many kills got right now because it's training SCVs. How dare it? But it definitely contributed an awful lot to that. The Cloak Banshees were a nightmare too, actually. I don't know where his Overseers were, but they definitely weren't with the army because those Cloak Banshees did a absolute number on the Roaches. I mean, one's got 22 kills at the moment. They were really, really effective. And that could have broken that base. It could have. It had the potential to do it. Now,
I feel like it should have almost. That was brutal.
Yeah, he had to. It's that one sinking moment where you pull back, having almost killed it. But he didn't quite. And now, Byung with the counterattack, trying to set something up here. The Sim City of Dongregoo is definitely going to work against him here. I can't imagine he'll really want to fight too much. But the Hydras will do fairly well against these Hellbats that die very, very quickly. Blinding Clouds again. Double abduct, triple abduct. Down go a bunch of tanks here. The Blinding Clouds are absolutely perfect. Dongregoo streams forward, takes out the rest of the tanks. There's a third layer behind this, though. There's a Hunter Seeker missile going into the center of this as well. And DRG bleeds out. And GG. Byung will be the one to go forward to face Flash in the round of 4. And a clean sweep there by our 4 original Kesper players.
Wow, really great play by all 4 of them. Byung right there, pulling out a really strong harassment-based game, really. You know, he killed over 100 drones there at the end, chose some great places to attack, defended brilliantly, and DRG, despite like a devastatingly awesome ZVT in game number 1, does get taken out.
Oh, it was so close. That's going to be heartbreaking there for Dongregoo, getting some good engagements, but so much harass. Like, and we talk about stubborn, but lack of static defense, and honestly, like, kind of just poor army movement from Dongregoo there.
Yeah.
Like, the Roaches, that 4th in particular with the Roaches was just like, what are you doing?
There is no way that he should have allowed that many drones to die as well. You know, it's just, ouch. That over 100 drones that game. You know, he had good creep spread. He had the right types of units to stop Hellion and Hellbat harassment instead in their tracks, but just wasn't able to do it. Byung really showing that he knows how to get in there and mix it up and do the damage required.
No doubt about that. And with that, the last Zerg is eliminated from the tournament, leaving a TBT and a PvP for tomorrow, which is actually kind of great, because not only does it guarantee Byung versus Flash Best 7 TBT, which I am psyched about, an incredible PvP from Zest and HerO, but it also guarantees a TVP in the bronze match and a TVP final.
That's right, and, you know, people have been saying Terran hasn't been doing as well lately. Well, half Terrans in the round of 4 here at the SHOUTcraft Invitational.
Very much so, very much so. We lost innovation, but we kept Byung and Flash, so overall I feel we certainly won out there. Unfortunately, HerO not able to join his Protoss brethren, but replaced by the other HerO, some might say the one true HerO, who will be facing off against Zest in the fight of his life, a best of 7.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing. Like, I actually put in my personal rankings, because I love PvP, maybe my favorite matchup overall. I think Zest is the best in the world, And HerO, I put like second or third. Like, he's just so good. I cannot wait for that match. I'm going to be learning a lot.
I certainly think everyone will. It will be top-class mirrors in Day 3. And then, of course, some of the best TVP on the planet in the finals day. Day 4, the bronze match, best of 7. And, of course, the finals, best of 7. There's a big difference, of course, between third and fourth place. Bit extra money on the line. And, of course, plenty of prestige in such a star-studded lineup. We have removed, perhaps, the weaker players from our tournament. And we are left with the absolute elite.
Yeah, you can't really name a better lineup, man. That's for sure. You know, HerO has just been killing it. Zest, 2-time GSL champion. Byung, best record in Pro League. Flash, he's Flash.
Yep.
I can't wait for tomorrow. I wish I could 3x today or something.
That would be nice. Skip forward and see what happens there. We're going to have a great final, of course. We're going to have some brilliant games tomorrow. If you're a fan of TBT, this may be one of the best you have ever seen. I love watching Flash play TBT. I adore it, and Byung's TBT is great too, so this should be amazing.
It certainly should, especially since they played just recently in Pro League, and Byung did take it down with some aggressive play. Just see how Flash answers that.
Indeed. Now, tomorrow's... We're going to have a slightly later start. Actually going to be starting at 8 EDT. So just a little bit later. And we will have 2 best of 7s. I'd love to tell you how long that will actually take, but it's 2 best of 7s. It's the most unpredictable thing ever. We could be over in an hour and a half, or it could take 5. We don't know.
Absolutely.
Just have no
you
idea.
Can never tell. Let's hope closer to the 5 than the hour and a half. Hour and a half is 8 really quick cheeses or something. Like,
yeah.
Just a lot of cheese. So hopefully we have some macro in there too.
I hope so. I certainly hope so. All of these players are more than capable of playing the best macro games. And can Zest take a 3rd title in such a short period of time? He's up against it. Now, HerO is incredible in PvP, and even if it gets through the final, he's got to face either Byung or Flash in a best of 7. So... That's a tough one. Or can Flash actually claim his... it's kind of arrogant, I suppose, to say first big title in StarCraft 2, but it's a significant title. It's a big step.
It is a significant title, okay? It may not be a giant LAN. Best online tournament of the year, easily. Easily.
It would be really cool to see if he could pull that off, wouldn't it? That would be fairly amazing if he could. But that pretty much wraps us up here for Day 2 at the SHOUTcraft Sandisk Invitational. I'd like to, of course, thank everybody for watching. Big thanks to you, Artosis, once again, for your excellent co-commentary.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Totalbiscuit. You're the best. This tournament is amazing.
We'll certainly see yet more amazing games tomorrow. Big thanks go out to the Korean casting team, that being the Axiom guys, as well as Olivia, who has been helping with the adminning today, so thank you very much to them. Big thanks to Neo TV, the Chinese casters, for this event, and big shout out, of course, to our Chinese audience, which is growing very quickly as it happens. You know, it's really becoming a thing over there, and I'm very, very glad to see esports support coming out here from China. Big thanks to Chris, who sorted out all the art assets for the event. And a big thank you to our players and the teams that they come from. Commiserations, of course, to Innovation, Liquid HerO, Dong Rei Gu, and Startail Life. But congratulations to KT Zest, CJ HerO, KT Flash, and CJ Byung, who will make up our round of 4. And, of course, give us an incredible finals and bronze match. No real doubt about that. You can tune in, of course, tomorrow at 8 p.m. EDT for the round of 4. And then the final day will be back to 7 p.m. EDT for the bronze match, followed by the grand finals of the Sandisk SHOUTcraft Invitational. If you've just tuned in and you missed everything, well, you got a couple of options. If you subscribe to the channel, you get instant access to uncut, spoiler-free VODs, so you can watch the whole thing immediately. Alternatively, you can wait for the rebroadcast, which I will be putting on probably in about 2 hours, I think. I'm going to be targeting the start of the show probably around 8 a.m. Central European time. So just keep an eye on the channel. We'll be doing another rebroadcast for the Europeans. Unfortunately, we can't do it at a better time because the mighty Home Story Cup continues, and you should definitely check that one out tomorrow. Day 3 of the Home Story Cup. A lot of the weaker players have been knocked out, so this is where stuff gets about as serious as Home Story Cup gets, which is not that serious, but it's going to give some great games. There's some awesome players there. I hear rumor, I don't believe this is happening on... but it's probably not happening on day 3, maybe day 4, that there will be a Jaedong versus Stork Brood War show match